Good afternoon and Sawasdee Krap once again. Today is Saturday, April the 18th, 2020. As the spokesperson had mentioned, worldwide we have now 2.2 million confirmed cases. And of course, we hope that the world and Thailand will soon turn the tide against COVID. First of all, thank you to the general public for the cooperation in our fight against COVID. We do hope to turn the tide. We have so far managed to contain the situation to a degree and keep the number of cases quite low. But however, we take this opportunity to repeat once again the message of the Center of the COVID Situation Administration, or CCSA, that we do need to keep our guard up, maintain our guard, or else we might see a further spread of COVID and an increase of the new infection cases in Thailand. Yesterday evening at 6 p.m., the Prime Minister gave a television address during which he informed the public of the government's two principal priorities in this time of crisis. The first is, of course, the fight against COVID, and second is the assistance to all Thai people. He emphasized the inclusivity of the process of every sector, the cooperation from every sector, including especially the private sector, the public sector, academics, civil society, and the general public, the people at large, all of which have crucial roles to play. And he asked them to cooperate, to work together in solidarity in order to tackle the pandemic and its far-reaching impacts on the country's economy and society. The Prime Minister expressed the confidence that with everyone on board, Thailand will overcome any challenges that we are facing now and in the future. The center has been following and monitoring the events around the world. In the past few days, the spokesperson has mentioned about cases in various countries in Asia. Just to recap some information we've been following in other countries. For example, in the Philippines, the lockdown has been ongoing since the middle of the month and is valid until the end of this month. The president of the Philippines announced this on television. The arrests of 120,000 violations of curfew, most especially in terms of drinking alcohol and assembling for gambling and cockfighting. So we can see that in other countries, the situation is almost the same in Thailand, where we have to keep guard and keep monitoring the various violations. In the United States, of course, you would see in the news, there is a three-phased approach. The first one is strictly prohibiting people to go outside buildings unless necessary or congregating of over 10 persons. The second phase is when it becomes more relaxed, when the situation becomes more relaxed, around 50 people assembly would be permitted, and of course the reopening of transportation. And phase 3, hopefully in the future, when normal lives are resumed, but of course with the highest control of health standards still in place. So we just continue to monitor the news and events around the world as a reflection of what other countries are doing, as a learning process for us as well. And thank you very much for the cooperation of the general public in all of the measures so far. For the general situation, the numbers in Thailand that I have for today, we have 33 new confirmed cases, making the accumulated total 2,733. Yes, we have a slide on screen for you on this. The total number of recoveries and discharged is 1,787. This is an increase different from yesterday in the past few days, because there is for today around 98 new recoveries. So it's a very nice number that we have here, that there are almost 100 recoveries per day. Another number I highlight is about the new fatalities that we recorded. It is good news that today we have no recorded fatalities. The accumulated total of fatalities still remains 47. In observing the numbers, we found that Bangkok still remains the main location where the existing cases have been found in the most number, followed by the neighboring provinces and tourist provinces as well. In the general picture, the number of provinces that have no new cases in the past 14 days, we have 29 provinces now that have no new cases in the past 14 days. Yesterday, it was still only 27 provinces with no new cases in the past 14 days. For the enforcement side of this situation, in terms of curfew, we have a total of 804 curfew violations, warnings 169, and charged in legal cases 635. It's interesting to note, and the spokesperson mentioned this, is that we tallied the numbers during the Songkran festival in the past, the 3 days earlier this week, in which the past years, we have dubbed the period as the 7 days of danger, Jet 1 Antarai. So we tallied the numbers and we found that the number of deaths, the death toll, decreased by 70%, meaning that in the past years during Songkran, we had around perhaps 500, 300, 400, or 500 deaths during the 7 days of danger. But this year during Songkran, we have only 150 deaths. And of course, because we are in a different situation, but it is also very good to hear that there are not a high number of fatalities during this period. The statistics for the last few days show that the central region continues to be the area where most of the violations have been found. Top 5 for violations are Nonthaburi, Bangkok, Pathum Thani, Samut Prakan, and Songkhla. And as mentioned, Bangkok and neighboring provinces remain on the top 10 of the list of number of violations. And the number of violations correlated with the number of accumulated new cases of infection. You may notice that the number of warnings on violations is getting lower. It's decreasing. That means that the authorities have taken very serious actions, have received the good cooperation of the general public around the country. And considering that there is ample time for the public, for the people to get used to the curfew hours declared 2 weeks ago. So we here at the CCSA would like to continue to ask for your cooperation to comply with the rules and regulations which are aimed at controlling the situation and protecting the health and the very well-being of every Thai person and the residents of Thailand. Between the 18th to the 30th of April, we also tallied the number of persons entering Thailand in all channels. So from the 18th to the 30th, around half a month, we see that there will be around 1,984 people entering Thailand. This is, of course, tallied according to the number of prepared flights or the number of special requests needed to enter Thailand in terms of the groups that are allowed to enter Thailand. In the southern provinces in particular, that number is 1,604. So we are keeping a very close tab on the incoming number of persons up until the end of the month. Turning to the scheduled repatriation of Thai nationals abroad, tonight we have a flight from the Republic of Korea, which will arrive in Bangkok, bringing back safely the second batch of Thai students from the AFS and other exchange programs, approximately 132. And this is flying in from the United States via the Republic of Korea. The third batch of 162 students will also arrive tomorrow, but in Utapao Airport, by special flight arranged by the Thai government. And we highlight this, the spokesperson highlighted this because it is the AFS student exchange group. They are, frankly speaking, our children, our youth, and our future. So we take particularly good care of them. On the 19th of April, tomorrow, there will also be 2 incoming flights from Bangkok from various countries in Europe, bringing back 26 Thai nationals, in which the Thai embassies and consulates around Europe have joined hands to make arrangements for Thais being repatriated to fly in and assemble in Amsterdam and fly out together from Europe from one destination. The second flight for tomorrow will arrive from Bahrain with 75 Thai nationals. And of course, all of these returnees will be quarantined, mandatory quarantine for 14 days in the state quarantine process. In the return of all these Thai nationals, I present every day the work of the Royal Thai embassies and the consulates around the world who have worked around the clock to facilitate the nationals abroad who need to return to Thailand and to provide assistance to those who live far from their homeland. I'm sure that you know that other countries around the world are also doing this for their citizens. And up on screen, you have a slide, some images of this work. This is Malaysia, the embassy and consulates in Malaysia taking care of our people there. These people, of course, Thais around the world face numerous difficulties, some of whom have left Thailand for jobs and who need assistance from the government. On screen now, you have some images of the Thai embassy in Washington, D.C., as well as the consulates, the Royal Thai consulates in Los Angeles and in other cities, sending off the Thai exchange students from the AFS and other programs back to Thailand. And as you know, last night, one of these flights have arrived already. And of course, the care packages and yes, the Thai embassies and consulates provide these Thai citizens with support and, of course, moral support and reassure them that they have someone to rely on to help in times of hardship. Of course, as mentioned, คนไทยไม่ทิ้งกัน will leave no Thai person behind. Yes, so turning now to the general advice, and I'd like to cap off with some messages that I can recap from what the Prime Minister mentioned again also. First, the general advice, as always, wash your hands often. The spokesperson and the public health ministries, the government has been reminding the public quite often, repeating this quite often, that you should wash your hands often, wear masks, keep physical and social distance in order to keep yourself, your family and friends and loved ones safe from COVID. We also have some short tips for today about cleaning your mobile phone because, of course, this is a device which is a life and death device instrument in this day and age, wherein this is like as important as an organ of the human body, so to speak, but sarcastically, of course. However, so it's important to clean mobile phones and tablets because they are frequently touched every single day and used close to your mouth and nose. So first, you can see the infographic here on screen. Wash your hands before cleaning the phone. Second, unplug and turn off the mobile phone. Third, if it is waterproof, wash it with soapy water and dry it with soft towel. If not waterproof, of course, you can mix water and alcohol, maybe 60% water, 40% alcohol, to produce a cleaning solution and use microfiber cloth to clean the phone and dry it later. Note that you should also clean the mobile phone case. Of course, this is a detailed advice, but very important for this day and age. Yes. So in a time like this, where we have the COVID situation, staying at home and everything, it's also a time for reflection. So reminding us, of course, of the simple way of living. Earlier this week, the Prime Minister attended the Special ASEAN Summit on COVID, as I had mentioned before. And he made a suggestion to the meeting about the Sufficiency Economy Philosophy, SEP, given by His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, and could be applied as an alternative approach to sustainable development and strengthen the resilience of the people and self-immunity of the region as well. So it should be noted that SEP is not about only a strategy for the country's development, but also a compass for individual and community development. and it is, of course, also a new normal in this environment. The Prime Minister, aside from the ASEAN meeting last week, also had a public address yesterday, as I mentioned, yesterday at 6 p.m. And His Excellency, the Prime Minister, touched upon the importance of family and loved ones. He also said that in this time of crisis, he knows that this time of crisis knows no boundary and discrimination. And that all of us, be rich or poor or old or young, are affected by it. And he emphasized that eventually happiness could only be found by having friends, family, and loved ones around. Therefore, we ask you to keep up with your hygiene practices to prevent COVID as a way to show that you care about your loved ones. So please wear the mask and wear the heart. ผมจะจบด้วยภาษาไทยทุกครั้งนะครับก็ใส่หน้ากากแล้วก็ให้ใส่ใจด้วยนะครับ So please have a happy and restful Saturday ครับผม Thank you very much สวัสดีครับ